Psychosis. It's going to be amplified on our planet. It's going to increase. We're going to see more and more psychosis on this planet. I've said this before, and I'm saying it again. It is not an attack. In your 3D experience, you will see it that way. It'll look frightening, it'll look awful, and as human beings, we will want to avoid it because we don't like the idea of being helpless and out of control. And not having control of our mind is a frightening thing. But psychosis, from a spiritual perspective, is allowing the technology, the processor, to be corrupted so that it can be rewritten. Hear me. There are those of us that have come here, we've chosen to be here during this time-space reality. The frequency of our planet has elevated far beyond the expectations of the intergalactic councils. And we've excelled expectations. That is how high it is, meaning that many of us have been, as we expand, as our consciousness elevates, our technology has to catch up to be able to process that level of information. So we go through awakenings. And for some of us, our systems are able to accept and embrace the unplug. Others are afraid to unplug. So what happens is, and it's your inner being, it's the individual's inner being that makes this decision. We want it to be, pull the band-aid off quickly. We don't want to go through ascension, one awakening after the other. We want to pull the band-aid off quickly, fast track it. So what could take 5 to 10 years, we want to do within 1-2 years, shorter period of time. So we corrupt the system so that we can rewrite it. And it looks violent, it looks dangerous, because if your idea of danger is leaving this human body, then yes, it's dangerous, but your soul knows you continue to exist. The fear of death, the fear of this, the more fear you are plugged and tuned into, the more helpless, the more victimhood programming you have active, the more helplessness programming you have active, the more savior programming you have active, the more tuned into the 3D conditional world you are, the greater the imbalance between the inner world and the 3D world, the conditional world, the ego world, the greater the imbalance between fear and faith, the more violent it appears. So nothing happens without the soul's permission. The soul makes that decision. Pull the plugs. I want a quick reset, and that is psychosis. Because being introduced, Spirit is trying to prompt the individual in many different ways that what they believe to be true is not true, but their programming is resistant to it. Some of us have come in with the kind of technology, and this body and this mind is technology, with the kind of technology that can override the programming. It does so automatically. Some of us have not come in with that technology to override the programming automatically. So a reset needs to take place. Otherwise, they cannot continue to exist in these bodies. So that is their path of ascension. We're going to see more and more psychosis on this planet also because it is a lot to process. And if you have not already started being prepped spiritually for this, for what we're seeing right now, it is a lot to take in. What we are witnessing and able to see and acknowledge as psychosis on our planet right now was considered normal before because we were blind. Consciously, we were blind, so it was normal. The things that you can see psychosis now when someone talks, when someone's in your comment section, when someone says something, they believe what they're saying. You can see this person is not in touch with reality. Most people were like that. Psychosis is not a new thing. Psychosis used to be mass psychosis. So everybody thought it was normal and it was right. Now we can see it. So it's not as bad as it looks. It's actually better. If you think about the amount of people that were grouped together with their beliefs and they'd all sing the same song and they'd all believe the same thing. And if we now think of what they believed and the people they murdered for it and the lives they took and the land they stole for it and all the atrocities they did in the name of that which they believed, that was mass psychosis. But it was considered normal. So it is a unplugging. The one we're seeing now is slightly different because now it's happening in an environment, a cocoon, where the individual can get to a place where they are able to get treatment or acknowledge that something is off kilter sooner. The programming does not absorb them. And then they continue until late into their lives, towards the end of their days, thinking they are normal when really they're experiencing mass psychosis. It is an unplugging for a reset. It's sort of like introducing a virus to corrupt the program that's now taken the system over so that it can be wiped clean and restarted, a reset. That's how Spirit shows it to me. So we're going to see it across the board, religious, spiritual. There is no group that is immune to this because you know what? There's no elites. There is no perfect path here. There is the path that is right for you and the one that gives you the tools and the opportunity and the space to be the best version of you, or the path that makes you the worst version of you. That's all there really ever is. So there's no group of people, there's no religious group, there's no chosen group that's immune from this. Because it's not what you say you are, it's not what you subscribe to, it's not what you buy into, and it's not what your ego attaches to. It's your programming. You can change the label, you can change the country, you can change relationships, you can change the ideology, you can change the philosophy. The programming will run that script. So in order to give space to the light within you that runs whatever script you want to run in a beautiful way. And that's why there are people from all nations, all walks of life, all religious groups, all philosophical groups, all paths that are so beautiful. There are atheists that are just the most incredible people you've ever met. It's not about the cover. It's not about the packaging. It's not even about the script. It's the actor. Right? It's the character, it's the person and their ability and capacity to embody the character, and then the character, who and what that character embodies, right? So we're going to see a lot of it on this planet. And this message is so that you are not, you don't go into shock and into fear and into a sense of helplessness and terror. You know why we have so many people coming out to tell their stories? It's because one of two things happen. You either exit because that was your soul's plan anyway, and the psychosis was that thing you do to fast track your evolution before you transition, or an example to other people to activate the people around you, and you leave this body and you come back in another one if that is your choice. Nothing terrible is happening. Our fear of death is debilitating people. We need to overcome our fears. You cannot fully live if you're living because you're afraid to die. You're not living if you're living because you're afraid to die. You're living to avoid something, a terrible fate, instead of living fully free of fear. Or psychosis leads them to the reset and they get to be free from the program. So I wanted to share that with you guys today.